All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about the big three today: Wahl, Andis, and Oster. You know these clippers. You use them every single day. But have you ever really thought about what's going on under the hood? Why one feels so different from another? Well, there's some serious engineering differences that totally change how they perform, and that's what we're going to uncover today.
So let's talk about something we've all felt. You're in the zone, crafting what should be a perfect fade, but there's this one stubborn line that just won't blend out. You're flicking your wrist, you're adjusting the lever, but it's just not disappearing. It's super frustrating, right? But what if I told you it might not be your skill? It could actually be the tool in your hand.
Yeah, you heard me. You might be blaming your technique or maybe the lighting in the shop, but the real secret, the thing that's holding you back, it's hidden deep inside the mechanics of the clipper itself. There's a fundamental design difference that changes the entire game.
Now you're probably thinking, okay, so what is it? The guards? That's where most people would look first. And honestly, that's where things get kinda tricky. Because when you snap on those plastic guards, the playing field suddenly looks surprisingly level.
I mean, just look at the numbers. With the guards on, a number 1 guard is 3 millimeters on a Wahl, and it's 3 millimeters on an Andis. A number 2 is 6 millimeters for both. You can go all the way up the line, and the difference is, well, there basically is no difference.
And that's the key takeaway here. When the guards are on, there's no real mechanical advantage one way or the other. It creates this false sense of, everything being equal. It makes you think the tools are basically the same. But this is the great misdirection. The real secret isn't what happens when the guards are on.
No, it's what happens the moment the guards come off. This is where you see the engineering philosophies of these companies go in completely different directions. This is where your clipper shows you what it's really made of.
So what is it? What's this one little detail that separates the best from the rest and can totally revolutionize your entire fading technique? Boom! There it is, your standard Wahl clipper. With that lever all the way open, it only extends to about 2.4 millimeters. But look at the Andis Master or the Oster Fast Feed. They open all the way up to a full 3.0 millimeters. That's not just a tiny difference, my friend. That's a total game changer.
And let me tell you why this matters so much when you're behind the chair. To get a true number 1 length, that full 3 millimeters with a Wahl, you have to stop what you're doing and snap on the number 1 guard. You just don't have a choice. But with an Andis or an Oster, you can get that exact same length with just the blade by opening the lever all the way. No plastic, no attachments, just pure, raw, blade-on-skin tapering.
Let's look at the hard data, because it really tells the story. This chart nails it down. Your Wahl Magic Clip or your Senior, they'll take you from about 0.5 millimeters up to 2.4. But the Andis Master and the Oster Fast Feed, they start at that same 0.5 mil, but they go all the way up to a true 3.0, which means they officially cover the entire range from a 000 to a number 1 guard without you ever having to reach for an attachment.
And Andis didn't just stop there. Oh no. They took this advantage, this incredible extended blade range, and they built an entire ecosystem of specialized blades around it. They took this concept and pushed it to some wild extremes.
First up, let's look at the Andis Fade Master Blade. When you close this thing all the way, it cuts down to a mind-blowing 0.2 millimeters. That's practically a surgical length. It's designed specifically for those ridiculously tight, seamless skin fades.
And now for the complete opposite end of the spectrum, meet the Andis Fat Master Blade. With its lever fully open, this absolute beast extends to a massive 13 millimeters. That's the same cutting length as a number 4 guard.
So think about what that means. With the Fat Master, you can fade from a 0.5 millimeter all the way up to 13 millimeters without ever stopping to change a guard. It's literally like having the number 1, 2, 3, and 4 guards all built right into your blade. It can completely change your workflow and your speed.
And this slide just puts it all together perfectly. The Fade Master gives you that super tight, surgical to 000 range for insane detail work. The Fat Master gives you that enormous range, from a 000 all the way up to a number 4, for just blazing through bulk removal and long tapering. These are hyper-specialized tools, all built around that core idea of a bigger blade range.
But you know what's powering that blade? The motor. And yeah, it absolutely matters. It's another huge piece of the puzzle, and it affects everything from cutting speed to how the clipper chews through thick, coarse hair.
Okay, so there are 3 main types. First, you've got magnetic motors, which you find in a lot of Wahls. These are speed demons. They're super fast, super light. But all that speed comes at the cost of torque, so they can sometimes get bogged down in really thick hair. Then you have pivot motors, like in the Oster Fast Feed. They're the total opposite. They are all about raw power. They'll plow through anything, wet or dry, but they run at a slower speed. And finally, rotary motors, which are in a lot of high-end cordless models. They're kind of the jack of all trades, giving you a really nice balance of both power and speed. Which one's right for you really depends on your style and what kind of hair you're cutting all day.
So, okay, we've talked about guards, we've revealed the secret of the blade range, and we've looked under the hood at the motors. Now let's put it all together so you can figure out what the perfect tool is for you.
When you boil it all down, it really comes down to two different ways of thinking, two different philosophies. On one side, you've got Wahl. They are masters of soft, layered blending, but they really rely on you using guards to hit those longer lengths. On the other side, you've got Andis and Oster. They are built from the ground up for barbers who just love the raw control and the speed of long, extended, no-guard blade tapering. So, at the end of the day, the choice is yours. Are you a meticulous blender who lives by their guard system? Or are you a master of the open blade who values that raw efficiency? There's no right answer here, only the tool that truly fits your hand and your style. But now you know the secret hiding inside your clippers. You can make a much smarter choice about the tools that you use to define your craft. So, which one will you choose?